Yeah. So the year punk broke. It's 20 years ago today.
No. It's 20 years ago today.
Why did it take so long to bring it out on DVD?
Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure why it took so long to come out on DVD. I think mainly it was a question of clearances and the Cobain estate, basically. And I think not so much for the movie itself, but this finally this DVD edition has a lot of extra material. It has an extra 45-minute piece that Dave Markey, the director, edited together called known as the blues scale. This is known as the blues scale. And you know that footage was never approved in the first round. You know, only the movie footage was approved. So it took a while to clear that footage. And I think basically with the 20-year anniversary of Nevermind, it made a lot of things possible. So it made it possible to clear that footage because everyone thought this would be a good tie-in, because it's really a great document of Nirvana right before everything changed for them and for the music industry in general. So so it was just a really prescient time to make this film. You know, it really captured Sonic Youth at the end of 10 years of work. You know, pretty much we are 30 years this month. So this was sort of at the end of 10 years, the start of the second period when we were signing to a major label and all that stuff. And you know, when we took Nirvana had already supported us on a number of shows, and they were just another one of these great new bands from Seattle. I mean, nobody imagined they were going to conquer the world and all that kind of stuff. And they were just a band we loved that we wanted to play with. And so it was a great time for David Markey to come along and make this movie.
He filmed it on Super 8 film. It's really sound. Kind of a home movie feel. That's really this feel. I think it fits perfectly with the music. Do you
it's also, it was what Markey used. Markey was a Super 8 filmmaker.
He was making many movies in Super 8 at that point, as were many underground or indie filmmakers in America. I mean, when I started shooting film, I was shooting regular 8 and Super 8, and for Markey, as someone living in LA who wanted to be a filmmaker, it was just the medium that he could afford, the medium of choice. You know, I mean, in New York, most filmmakers gravitated to 16 millimeter, but you know, Super 8 sound film was a very expedient way to go. The sound stripe was already there, and he had made a number of shorter films in Super 8. I think he did both of the Love Dolls films that he had made, Desperate Teenage Love Dolls and Love Dolls Superstar, in Super 8 as well. So it was really a medium he was very comfortable with. And we invited him along. He bought a suitcase full of film, and we bought him a new camera, like a sort of the fanciest Super 8 camera that was on the market, a Beaulieu camera, and just all went unfurling from there.
Yeah. For us Belgians, this is a very special film because a large part of the movie is filmed on the Pukkelpop Festival 1991 with maybe the best lineup festival ever had, with Ramones, Sonic Youth, Nirvana, Dinosaur, Frank Black, The Pogues.
Yeah, it was Babes in Toyland
Babes in Toyland.
Well. And what about, was Iggy on it?
No.
Or Nick Cave? They weren't on that one.
No.
Okay.
Before,
So, what do you remember about that specific festival, or was it just a tour with that whole?
Well, it was a tour, but I remember Pukkelpop especially because we played it 2 or 3 times in our career. And it was one of the first European festivals, I think, that we played, when it was in a smaller scale than this. And, the special thing about these festivals, in part, aside from where they're located, is that there are opportunities when so many of your friends are around at the same time. I mean, we were touring with Nirvana, but all these other bands we were really close to at the time as well. And so, I don't have specific memories that would be relative to Pukkelpop, but I'm curious which sections were recorded at Puckle Pop, like which songs and things like that. But I just remember it was a really, really wonderful festival. I mean, the Belgian festivals were always a little more laid back. Like we always used to dread the English festivals a little bit because they were so hyper and the
huge.
festivals, and huge. And the festivals in Europe were just a little bit more laid back.
Relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I found a four-leaf clover because I was there. I found a four-leaf clover at that gig. I have my four-leaf clover from there.
Interesting.
So that's nice. Okay. Thanks.